So, first of all, Happy New Year to you all. I think it's the last day you can say that. And I hope you have been busy because like in the workshops before, you've had, what, about 3 weeks now? So we've had quite a big break. And the last part we did was a open house where you could ask questions on what we covered so far, which was all based around building the site. So getting the site, the framework together. And it was this time that you've been given was to allow you to get your site in kind of in that stage, so you're ready now with your course and you've got a page set up that you can capture leads before your course is done. You'll also notice that in those workshops we also set up some pages as well, which I'll show you in a second just so you can see. We've got quite a lot to do today. This is quite involved and it's going to be quite good for you guys. I don't know if any of you maybe put into the chat where you're from and what stage you're at with your course creation, and also it'd be good to know if you've just finished Kevin's Launch Your First Course challenge. Now the difference between Kevin's challenge and what we're doing here on our live Sunday workshops is we are very in depth. You know, you get to know everything about the course creation process. This is the big difference, and you can't really run what I'm doing now as a kind of challenge because there's too much information in there. If you did a 5-day challenge, you just wouldn't have the time to understand or go through and do research and all the other things. So this is a really in-depth look. So Kevin's challenges gets you started, gets you on that roll. I don't know, have any of you done Kevin's challenge? It's just finished, or it's finishing. So I think Mina was on it. I'm not sure, but I think you were. And it's really good because it's kind of involved. It gets you working with it. So Heather's saying first ever. So total newbie. Right, good. So you're going to want to catch up on the course. You're going to want to catch up on the course that we covered so far, which covers all site. Because now we're on to what I like to say the second stage of things, actually workshop 4, and it covers course creation, how to set up membership sites and all of those things. What we're doing today is we're setting up a single course. So if you're running a membership site, you're always going to start with a course. You're always going to have a course to sell. So it's relevant to you, but later on you're going to see how we can turn that into quite a complex membership site. Of course, you can run a single site, a single course as a membership course with a subscription and just add content to it. Of course, that's the really easy way of doing a membership site. Or of course, you can sell a single course, and you could create multiple single courses and sell them. That's what I do. So it's up to you how you want to do it. Remember that if you are doing a membership site as well, that you need to think about how much time you can commit to that site, because with a membership site your students that are coming in are going to expect new content to come out, you know, a minimum of once a week. So you've got to make sure you've got the time to do it. I haven't got the time to do that, although I'm kind of running that sort of thing, but I normally sell individual courses, just one-off courses, so they just buy into it. And for me that works really well because it means I can go on holiday and my courses are still going to sell and I've still got revenue coming in. Now if I run a membership site and I went off for a long period of time, or I was busy doing other things and I didn't update my content, I'd probably get a huge drop off of people unsubscribing from the course because this guy is not adding new content on it. So these are things that you need to think about. Have you got the time at this stage? Remember that if you haven't got the time, you can always set up single courses, and then later on you could then do a membership site. So you don't have to be locked into one way or the other to start with. So great, we've got lots from Australia, which is always a good thing, and some people from Sweden as well that like the mornings. So we're 10 AM in the morning here. This is what time we start in the UK. I think it's about 9 PM Australian time. So getting cold and windy here and rainy, so you Australians are loving it, I guess, because you're coming into your summer. Beautiful. All right, so that's a little bit about what we're doing today. We're doing a single course. We're going to basically do a really in-depth course of what Kevin did, but we're going to do it in one session. So we're going to cover things really fast. I'm not going to go into, I'm going to talk slightly about, but I'm not going to go into checking out your market and these things. I'm just going to say to you that you need to, and remember, you need to do a little bit of research. You need to get onto Google. You need to think of a course that you're doing. You've got to then go onto Google, check out your competition, check out how saturated the market is with that particular subject, you know, because you might find it's too saturated and it's harder to sell your course. If you've got something that's a little bit, you've got your own unique selling point on your course, UPS, then it might be easier to capture more people into that course. So these are things that you need to think about. Now, if you're beginning your course creation process, I would say to you, just use this first course almost as a test run, just to get you happy with the way it's working, and maybe then use some Facebook ads or do the marketing. Now, I've got some brilliant news for you. Because Kevin has run the Launch Your First Course Challenge, which is very popular, me and Alice are actually teaming up, and we're going to do a marketing challenge. So we're going to do Launch Your First Course Marketing Challenge, which is going to run out. Now, you guys are all going to get an email on this. I'm going to post it on the Facebook group as well. It's going to be, we're not sure the time length, it could be 3 days or 4 days. So not full days, it's going to be like an hour each section. And if you join it, it will be a course. So if you join it and miss any, you can jump in there and just recap. This is a kind of compressed version or a speedy version of the basic marketing course that we have in our tutorials.new Zenler NZ Masterclass bundle. So we already have a marketing in there. We have basic marketing, but this is going to be a compressed. This is going to force you to challenge you a little bit to get to where you need to be, and also to understand it, and then maybe pick up the basic marketing course afterwards, which we'll be putting links out. So it's going to be really good. I'm really happy that Alice is joining me on this, because it's always nice to have a co-host, and it's really good to bounce things around as well and answer questions. And of course, you know, Alice is like, she's an expert. She runs summits. She's very good on social media as well. So I've learned quite a lot from her. And you know, we pass information, so between us we should be getting a lot of information across to you. I'll be showing techniques that I use that work, and Alice will be telling you her techniques that work. So we should all learn something, including me and Alice. So we can't wait for that. We're not launching it yet. We're just bashing out the ideas for it so that it runs nice and smoothly. But it's going to be very soon. I like to roll with these things straight away. And I thought, well, Kevin's just run his Launch the First Course Challenge. So it's time to kind of get that marketing. Because as we know, as course creators, the hardest part of your course creation process is actually selling. You know, it's marketing. It's the one thing that you want to get to. You know, it's all very well creating a beautiful looking site that you spent a year on, and then you spent 2 years creating the most elaborate course in the world, but if no one's going to buy it because they're not going to see it, it's a waste of time. So what I would say with this, if you're a beginner to this, then create a course, but create a very short course, and maybe think about doing it free, okay? Because give a little bit of information, and then maybe later on you'll build up your list of people coming in, and then later on you can launch the fully fledged version, contact those people, pull them into it. So this could be really good for you guys that are starting from scratch, which is what we're doing with the Good Doggy site that we've been creating. So how many of you have done the challenge, the homework that I gave you, and that was to create the site? Now, I know there's a lot of new people in here, so if you haven't, it doesn't matter. But have any of you actually managed to get your site together? Can you put that into the chat? So I can see Gabriel has put, yeah, thinking of a teaser course is really good. Yes, 2020, Tracy. Oh yeah, yeah, of course, you've been around for a while. Almost done, but domain still directing to WordPress. Yeah, so yeah, Maury, I think you posted our community, because our course also has a community built to it, and you should use that. Post your questions in there. I do, whenever I go into a tutorial site, I get a notification, so I go in there and then I answer those questions. So I need to, I'll probably contact you, Maury, find out what domain you're using, what host you're using. So never stop learning. Tracy's almost finished. Tracy Whitfield and Tracy Browning. Not yet. I've done some background work, but meaning your site's quite well developed. Gabriel, yes, still yes, but can use some improvements. Yeah, so don't get too attached to the site. You know, you want to get moving with these things. Don't start picking little bits that really don't matter. You know, in essence, you could use the base template that comes when you first get new Zenler, and you could just fill that details in and you could do the site quickly. I mean, this site that I'm showing you now, done in less than a day, you know, probably 4 hours. But I know what I'm doing. So obviously if we treble that, you could get it done in a day and a half, let's say, for a complete beginner. All right, if you followed the workshops that we've done so far. So with that in mind, I'm going to first of all show you about the course, because there is lots of new guys in here and I want you to make sure that you sign up for the course so you can watch the replays. Otherwise, going forward, you might be asking questions that have already been answered, or you might be saying, well, how do I put my site? How do I add an extra page? How do I add a drop down to a menu? All these questions have already been answered through the workshops. So we are on course creation, and we'll be doing course creation for probably 2 to 3 weeks. We're also going to run an open house again for the course part, because there is going to be a ton of questions. Now, one thing I would say to you is the biggest problem that course creators have is overcomplicating things when they start. That you should never do that. I never do that, and I've been doing this stuff for decades. If I'm using a new system, I start very simply and then I learn as I go and I build on those courses. It's a constant building thing. Your site's never going to be finished. You're always going to be tinkering, adding things in, refreshing pages, changing content. This is a natural thing that we do. All right, so don't get bogged down. And I think Kevin mentions that as well a lot in his condensed workshops. Don't get stuck. Keep moving forwards. Okay. So that's my big tip. So first of all, I'm going to show you where the course is so you guys can know what you're going to see inside that course. And let's go and put the URL into the chat. So if you haven't signed up for this, please note that URL I've just put in there and make sure that you sign up for the course, because inside the course you're going to see our lives. So you can just click the button and you're registered, and then you'll be in there. So let me go and do a screen share now. This is our general thing. What I do at the moment, guys, no microphones on, so that I can just run through the presentation. At the end I'll open it up. So here is the course. So that link that you've seen is a private course. Go in there, join up to the course, and you're going to go into, and you're going to see this page. And you're going to see here that it gives you all the workshops that are going on. So we got the next one next week, which is talking about membership ideas. So everything that we've done, and you can just click book now, and then you'll be in there. I'm going to make it so that you understand how the system works and how you can use membership. Now, people are using like for memberships, they're using a ton of different ways of doing things. So there's no set one way. In Zenler, we give you a lot of flexibility, but choosing that correct way at the beginning will save you a lot of time later. All right, that's a big thing. So make sure you understand things as I'm talking through these workshops. If you don't understand it, either put it into the community, and we have a community associated with this. You can just go to the community, type your question in there, and then I'll get back to you. And that way you're not going to lose it, because if you start working, you think, oh, I've got a good question, and then you carry on, you forget that question, write it down as you're doing it, put it in there. So workshops we've run so far, we did a tour of Zenler, we toured around the platform, we talked about planning your site or your course. Resources and extras always come with this. We supply a PDF. Then we talked about media creation, because it's a big thing. I don't need to recap on media creation. I've done that part of the workshop. So now you should be able to create your media at a size that's going to work for you. Then we got the page builder. So this is our main thing. We use a page builder in loads of places inside Zenler. We use it inside courses. We use it inside funnels. You use it inside lives. You inside the site pages themselves. And then we ran an open house. And I like to run these because it's just like an hour and a half of people just asking questions. And then it finishes when I've answered all the questions. So we're going to be running these. We run these at the end of each section, so that you can ask all the questions on that section. So these are the ones that we're running now, here and here. So this is the course. So you can go in there, you can watch the replays, grab the PDFs that are downloaded. You can sign up for the next one. At the bottom as well, we are quite a few weeks into this. So if you did want to leave a review, or you might want to wait until the end because you might think, well, I don't know what, I can't put an opinion on this yet. You can put a review in there. So I put a new block in there. I like feedback because feedback really helps. Honest feedback. If you don't like it, then write it down there. I might not publish it then, but but at least I know, and I can ask you what I'm doing wrong, what you want to see. I know there's a lot of things about people like rambling too much and going too slow. It's a real balance between going too fast and going too slow. So I want to hit that place where it's comfortable for beginners and advanced users, or intermediate users. So in here I just said getting ready for the event, so it tells you basically what to do and use the community, which I just mentioned. So this is what you need to do, so make sure that you do go to that link. And now what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at what we've done so far. So I'm going to jump into this. This is what we did in the workshops previous to this. So this is a site that we put together. It's just a test site, and inside here you can see that I have just a lovely home page here, and this links through to a pages that I've set up in the site. So we haven't done a course yet, but we're pre-launching, you know, we're pre-doing a course. So I said to you, set your site up. You don't need to have your course. You can just set your site up, and then you can work on the courses, but your site's up and people are coming in and they are getting registered by filling out this sign up form here. You're going to see the sign up form is on a lot of the pages. So I revamped the About Us page a little bit as well. So now I've got a little bit About Us page. Notice the sign up form on every page because I haven't launched yet. And under Dog Services, I've got these pages. So these are the courses that I'll be creating. So I've got one for tricks training, dog anxiety, and toilet training. So these are made up, by the way. I'm not a dog trainer. And there we have it. So we've got toilet training there. Notice I've used different colors throughout these. These are the colors that I'm going to stick with because I'm going to, people like color systems. They're like, I'm in the orange section, so I'm in the anxiety section. I'm in the red section, so I'm in the whatever section. So people like associating things with colors, and also it makes it a little bit more colorful. So you'll see on the home page here, if I jump back, that we have this. The colors again are here. These associate with each of the pages, and these just click through to pages. So inside the site itself, if we go to our pages, you're going to see that these are the pages here. So basically those buttons link through to here. So that would be toilet training link, and I use relative links. You guys that don't know what that is, watch the workshops, it's explained. And you'll see that that toilet training link will go through to, look down here in the bottom left corner when I mouse over, goes to toilet training. So you can see it's there, toilet training, that part. Okay, so that's what we've done so far. So we've got no courses together, but we are collecting people's emails. So people are interested, you can start to cause a buzz. Now I realise we haven't marketed the site yet, but there is a chance of people coming in here. And it also means, and this is really important, people that ask you what you're doing or where can I take your dog training, because a lot of you are already doing this as a business. So you want to point people, say, go to my site, go to the homepage, sign up there, and you've captured them. So you can start giving out business cards, whatever you like, you know, put it in a local paper, you know, I don't know, you might be on the radio and mention it on the radio. You've got a place where you can send people. So that was the whole point. It was like a lot of people were like, I don't know where to start. I'm putting my site together and I'm also putting my course together. And you don't want to do that. You want to break it down. You want to work on your site, make it a site that can gather leads, and then you can take your time working on your course, and then you've got this email list building up that you can then send them to the course. So we are on courses today. So I'm just going to stop the share while I move on to next bit. I'm going to put that URL in here because you will see it change and you might want to refer to it later. So it's gone into there, and I'm going to now do we do a Canva course creators playbook, and we give this out. So this is something for you to kind of follow as you work your way through. So there's quite a lot in there already. I'm going to go and share this in a second. Let me just present it. Okay, I'm going to run through this really quickly because you guys have seen it, a lot of you. So let's go in here. So this is what we give out in the course itself. So it's the Course Creators Playbook, Planning Your Site and Course. So Workshop 1, Planning Your Site and Course. So there's a lot of information in here. There's also about branding as well. So it helps you with design and branding, what you should think about. Also your logo as well. Again, Planning Your Site and Course, work through there. Workshop 2 was media creation. So creating all media for our site. 3 was building your site. So this is actually the first time that we actually started building. So it was actually only in one workshop that we did the building of the whole site. And we carried through. So I just told you about the basic elements. And now we're going to run on to the last part, which is this, course creation. So let's begin here. So this sheet will be available to you. I'm going to make some modifications. All the content for what we're doing today for this workshop and this PDF will be coming out live tomorrow. So if you go into the course, you're going to see the information in there tomorrow. Okay, just to give me time to process the video and put it all in there. So as with all things Zenler, we group main sections together, making it easier to know where things are. Creating courses in Zenler follows the same principle. So with everything in Zenler, we have different tags along the top. So we have course, we have email broadcast, we have live, we have site, and all your stuff for course is under course. So if you click the course tab, you're going to not have to go anywhere else. Everything's in there, including things like certificates, setting reviews, approving or rejecting assignments. You know, you've got it all in the same place. You can also set up bundles in there, so that's adding multiple courses to one big bundle course, okay, which you can charge separately for. And of course creating your courses is all in there as well. So what I'm going to be doing in Workshop 4, I'll be showing you how to create simple single course before moving on to more involved topics. Okay, so your homework for this week will include the following. Please note this is for a single one payment course. We will move into memberships later, but in any case the same will apply. So I don't need to go out when I'm talking about things like drips, or I'm talking about things like tiers, or any of this stuff. The same thing applies whether you were doing a bundle or another course. It's the same thing applies. So I don't need to repeat what a drip is because I will have already explained it. So for the homework, you need to do a bit of research on how popular your course is. So you can do that on Google. You can go into Google. If it was dog training, I put dog training in Cornwall, something like that, and find out how many people are interested in that. When you start to move on to more the marketing course, then we will start to look at trends and what people are actually putting into the search engines and then targeting those words, but not at this point. We don't want to overcomplicate it. So understand what is discussed in this workshop. So it's really important you understand what's discussed. Create the content media for your sales page of your course. Okay, create any content or media for any other pages. Okay, and I'm going to be showing you a quick template that I created for the course cards that I can use for my course. We're going to get organized with your course materials, be in a PDF, audio or video, so whatever format, you need to get organized with that. Now we talked about organizing your site files, and this is exactly the same. So make sure you have at least one payment option activated under integrations, which I'll touch on just in a second. So SEO, the sales page and other public pages. We covered SEO. It's basic SEO. It just means you go into the SEO section and you put a card up there, put a little bit of title, and then put description, any meta keywords in there. There'll probably be questions on this, but remember, we're not marketing heavily at the moment. We're going to be doing that in the marketing side of the course. So again, I'm not going to touch on it too much. So moving forwards, we have what we will look at during the workshop. This is a quick tour. So we're working at speed, okay, not too fast. And remember, you can replay the video. So we're looking at course templates in Canva, organization tips, a look at all media types uploadable to your courses. So this will be really interesting for you. And how we design the course in Zenler and why, and SEO for your pages. So course creation extras, and this workshop that we're running today, it could run into next week depending on time. I'm not going to rush. So we got categories that we can also apply to courses. So we got what is drip. So we got how do reviews work. We got certificates. We got can I SEO my pages, already discussed. What are my pricing options? This is a big one. And how do automations work and what are they? All right. So automations and these kind of things, I'm going to hold that almost for its own workshop because it's a big subject, and by learning how automations work, you'll understand how automations work in all the other places in your site, including lives, including marketing funnels, and knowing the difference between automations, system emails, okay, and email broadcasts. So it's quite a big subject. There's always a lot of questions on this. It's sometimes hard to get your head around. What I always say, and we need to do this, is test as a student. Now we haven't created our course yet, so we can't test it until we've created something to test. So that is workshop 4 for today. So that will be supplied tomorrow inside the extras under workshop 4. So because it is workshop 4, this is still going to be workshop 4 next week. It's going to be put into the same section. So I'm going to keep it all together. This is the course creation part of the lives for Sundays. And remember, I run the same time every Sunday. So we are back now. We had a break, but we are back. So that is the book. How are you guys?
David.
Hi. Hello.
I have a question. I have a comment.
Sorry, Mina, can you hold questions until the end?
Sure.
It's all right. Right, so yeah, I just need to run through this stuff before questions, because otherwise there's a lot to do and we'll just be stopping and starting every 2 seconds. So we can't do that. Right, okay, so that's for that. And let's start having a look at my course material. Right. So what I have here, and I'm going to share this in a second, is I have a lot of different media types. Now this is a test course, so generally you might not have this many. So let me just share this. So I've got lots of stuff in here. So I've got some intros to different courses. Now these are videos, so I'm just going to be showing you how to upload a video. Now you can also bulk upload video as well. You can also copy lessons in the curriculum across. So we have video format. I normally work 1920 by 1080. If you want to write that down, that's HD format. We do talk about it a lot. And all my course images, I always do at 1920 by 1080. So I'll be showing you the template. You can see I've got these little images here. So there we go. These are created. They work. They're the same colors that were in the site. So they work with those colors. These were done in Canva. I'm going to show you that in a second. And then of course we have our videos. So we also can upload zip files. We can upload PowerPoint slide presentations, which is what this is, PDFs. We can actually upload HTML if you're a coder, right? If you're not, don't worry about it. We can upload audio files, you can see there, and we can upload web packages. So these web packages, again, if you don't understand this, don't worry. These web packages for people that do understand it are like HTML packages, or they are SCORM packages, and they can be uploaded and they work in the system. So I'll be loading those all into the dummy course that I create. So let's move to our Canva template first of all. So what I like to do is I've got a Canva account here. I think this is a free account, and I like to just set up my little course cards inside here. Notice the size, 1920 by 1080. I cover this in media creation part of this workshop. So if we click in there, all I did was created these little course cards, and then I exported them out, and that then gives me theoretically three courses. I've got 3 courses, 3 course cards, and you can see those in there. So they were exported out, and I'm going to use these for our course. So that's my organization. So I have everything in a folder. Now, if I was doing different sections, I would probably put section 1, the basics, and I put videos and media into that folder. And then when I've got section 2, I'd create another folder in here called section 2, and then I put all the media in there for that part of the course. So that way it's really easy for me to find things. Now, if I show you some of the course stuff that we've done, you're going to see. So I've got live build Zenler in here. You're going to see they're all in their own folders. So all these live builds that I did, all the information is in one folder. So it makes it really quick for me to find. I can look at my master drive and I know exactly where stuff is. So obviously there's a lot more data in here. I've got a year with Zenler, all this stuff, all the Zenler videos that we've done. So all the our Zenlers are all in here, but they're all associated with each other. So I make it really easy and quick for me to find things on the system, and this is key, especially if you're not used to doing this stuff. You know, keep it organized. It's really easy when you start creating stuff to get lost and go, where did I put that? Was it on my desktop? Did I put it in my documents? Did I put it in my, you know, if it's all in one folder, you know exactly where it is. So everything associated with this one course should be in one folder. When you're creating another folder, right, just have another folder for that, and then put all those folders in one folder called, I don't know, my Zenler site course stuff, and then you know it's all in one folder. It's really easy to find. Also, for finding it on the system, you can just search in the folder, so it'll then just show up all the instances of it. So setting templates up is a really good idea, because I mean, if I wanted to create a new version of this, I could just duplicate this page and I could call it something else, like come in here and just call it how to, and then I could come into the background image here and I could change things over, you know, do what I like inside here. I can change the color of this to something else, you know, I could swap that image out or even delete that image out completely. So you see how quick it is to create a new one. Then I can, of course, I can export that out and I've got a new course card, and I haven't got to go in and redo things from scratch. So the other thing is it's consistent as well. Then what we're doing is consistent through the pages. All our images will look like they fit together. Okay. So of course you could just use an image, and you don't need to do this if you don't want to. It's up to you. So let's jump in and let's create our first course. So let's go to our admin section of the site. Now I've got my course material. So all courses inside courses. So inside here, you're going to see, if you've never created a course before, you're going to see create course. And then you're going to see up here, all the stuff down the side. So we've got things like bundles, categories, assignments, coupons, instructors, students, reviews, certificates, the video library. So that holds all the videos. And we got reports there, so you can run reports later on courses and things. So let's, before we create the course, let's go into categories. Let's say you're doing 3 category sections. Say you were doing, for instance, basic dog training, then you were doing intermediate dog training, and then you were doing something like advanced dog training. So it's a good idea to set these categories up before, but you don't have to. So if I go into categories here, to add a new category, you can see there's no categories. I'm going to go in here and I'm just going to put inside here basic dog training, and so any courses associated with basic dog training I can put in there. Now you're going to have to put that, you can set the URL in there and you can click add category, and now you've got this new category. So if I did something like intermediate, if I spell it right, we've got 2 categories in there, and last I'm just going to add advanced. So I might not use these, but if I want to, I can. And copy. Okay, you notice when there's a space in the URL, it'll put a hyphen. It'll automatically add that to you. So now I've got 3 categories set up in here. So this is especially important for you guys that are doing membership sites later, or you're doing lots of courses, you just want it broken up, because the courses will show under these URLs, and we'll look at that much later. So bundles, I'm going to quickly touch on bundles. Bundles assumes that you're going to put courses inside one thing. So I'll give you an example. Say you've got 3 courses, beginner, intermediate, advanced dog training, and you're selling those at $100 each, say $100 each. You could set a bundle up, and then you could put all 3 courses in that bundle. Say, get this one for not 300, get it for 250, and you'll have access to 3 courses. So that's how a bundle could be used. And when they purchase that bundle, they'll have all those 3 courses. So this is a really good way to generate money on these things. You can also use bundles for membership sites as well. So you can add content in and out of a membership subscription site if that's the way that you're going with it. All right, so assignments are, we can set assignments, we can set quizzes and surveys inside of the system, inside the course. So you can actually look at the assignments that have been submitted in this section. We can set up coupons, so we can give discounts on a course or all of your courses. You can set a percentage on amount inside there, and you can set how many as well. So we'll look at coupons later. It's kind of more of an extras area, as well as reviews as well. People can review for your site, and it's really easy reviews. You just put a review block in, people write a review, it comes up in here. You approve it or you don't, and it appear on your site under the review. And people have asked, why is there no reviews on my site? It's because no one's put a review in there, so nothing's coming up. Next thing we've got here is certificates. So you can enable certificates. When someone finishes a course, they get a link so they can download a PDF certificate. And I've done a few videos, one in particular, on showing you how to create your own certificate, which is probably what you'll want to do. The ones we have in the system we're going to add more, but they're very basic. In my opinion, don't look very good. So I did a video on how to create these are SVG files, how to create your own custom certificate. So again, these are questions that you can ask when we do the open house. Okay, so let's create our first course, because it's really easy. We're going to go create course, we're going to give it a title. So I've already got my thing. Which one am I going to start with? I'll go for trick training. So because I've done this page, this is a page, not a course, I'm going to choose this. So I'm going to take a bit of this just to save myself a bit of time. That copy, I'm going to put that in there. Okay, now you've got a course subtitle as well, so I'll just put anything in there at the moment, and then you have a summary that you can put in there as well. So I'm just going to take, as if this is a part of the text, I'm going to take some of that and put that in there like that. Right, so that's what it asks you. So it runs you through a series of steps. So it asks you the course title, the course subtitle, and the course summary. That's all it asks you at the beginning to set your course. So I'm going to click create course. Now the system's going to create a series of pages quite quickly, and you're going to have access. So inside here now, inside your course, you have the students that are enrolled. So later on you'll want to look at this, because at the moment there's nobody in there. Automation, so when someone joins your course, emails will go out automatically based on when they enrolled or based on a date. You can also send a notify email to you. You can do a lot of other things as well, but they are the main things that you'll want to know about. Next is drip. So if you've got, you can see I've got a section here. If I've got multiple sections, I can actually drip those sections to go out from enrollment. So say I had 4 sections in here. Let's call this basics week 1. All right, just going to save that. I'm going to add, there's no lessons in there at the moment, but I'm going to add a new section, and I'm going to go intermediates week 2. Save changes. So what I could do is when someone enrolls, I can drip the content out so that they first get access to basic week 1, and then 1 week later, or any time that I've set, week 2 is dripped out. So it's added to the course. So when they go back in there, it will automatically appear after the time frame that you set. It's called dripping content out. A lot of people do this, and some people do it because they want to get over this 30-day money back guarantee. So you might find that there's people going in, the drip content comes out, and then after, and it goes, and there's maybe 8 parts to the course. So then they'll only be at sort of that third one before the refund runs out, and then when that opens they don't have to offer them a refund. So that's how some people use it. Other people use it to control the flow of information going out to the student, which is the right way to use it in my opinion. You should never get refunds. If you do get a refund, you should always contact the student, say, why did you ask for the refund? It might be a case that they just went off the subject or didn't have enough time, but they might have a valid point about why they left your course, and it's always good to get negative feedback. It's more important, I think, than positive feedback a lot of the time, because if people praise you and stuff, it's all very nice, you know, it's lovely, but you actually want to find out if you're doing things wrong. That's why I love negative feedback, because it helps me improve. So that's how drip works in a nutshell. So let's go now and actually have a look at adding lessons in here. So if I go here, we've got these buttons here. This is bulk upload. So this will allow me, if I click this, I can select multiple files, and let me go to my course creation. I can select multiple files right inside here, and you hold the control key. So if I click hold the control key, and you can select, so I'm holding the control key and I can select all of these, and if I click open, it will upload them all as separate lessons, and it will call them whatever the title of the actual media is. So that's how you can bulk upload media. So that's such a time saver, because I produce loads of videos out. So I produce 30 videos out. I do a bulk upload. I select them all. Then I go off for an hour. You know, I come back and all my videos are all loaded. Beautiful. So it saves a lot of time. The other thing you can do in here is you can copy a lesson. So if you created a lesson, you can copy a lesson, and we'll look at this later. So these are the basic things. You can obviously add a new section. You can also bulk upload from there as well, and you can preview the curriculum as a student in a few places. So you can actually preview the sales page, and we'll look at that in a minute, course access page, and then the curriculum. So you can preview all from here. Notice the big green button. It means that I haven't published the course yet. No one can buy it, no one can touch it, no one can see it apart from you, because you haven't published it. Right, this is important. So next one, we've got add a lesson. So let's go and add a lesson. So I'm going to call this introduction, and that's it. So now, because we've added a lesson and I've changed the name, I've saved it in there, we now have all of this. So this is where we can put our content in for our course. So there's a few buttons here. One is set to draft, and this is really handy because especially if you've got a live course, and this is what I do with this live workshops that we're doing. Lots of the sections and the lessons are actually in draft mode, so you can't see them as a student. So if you've got it as draft mode, it means you can work on it, you can preview it, yourself because you're admin, but no one else can preview it or watch it, any of the content, if you've got it set to draft. Notice it says draft in there. So this is really handy to control flow, and if you're doing weekly lives like I am, it's really good, because it means at the end of it tomorrow I can just click this button like that, save the changes, and then you guys get access to it. So I am manually controlling the flow of what you're seeing inside the course by being able to set it to draft. So draft is a really good one to think about. Also, enable free preview. So enable free preview will allow people not to buy the course. They'll just be able to go to the sales page. Let's just go to, I need to add some content in here, but if I go to the course access page here, and you'll see here that I could, if I have enable free preview, I can actually start it. I can preview it before, without having to pay for anything. So it's enable free preview is really powerful. I do a kind of introduction promotional video at the beginning of the course. sometimes promoting other courses. So I always leave that on enable free preview because I don't mind people seeing it. In fact, in one of my courses, I've got a whole section of about 15 videos that I have enabled free preview for, so that people can go in, because one, the person that's going to buy your course needs to see your teaching style, whether they like it or not. You know, don't be hard on yourself. Some people will love you, some people will not like the way you teach. It's just inevitable. As long as most of the people like what you're doing, that's the main thing, you know. So and that's, you know, it's just character. So the next one we got is set as compulsory. So set as compulsory means they have to do the course. So they have to, like if we've got a video, they've got to watch the video to the end. Now, a lot of people have said about this in the Facebook group, yeah, but that doesn't work because people could scrub the video to the end. Well, yeah, they can. So you could bypass that by moving the video slider right to the end, watch the last 10 seconds and move on to the next video. But if those people are going to do that, then why are they taking your course? You know, so you can set it as compulsory, which means they have to watch that video before they can move on to the next one. There's other ways we can control flow as well through the course by doing things like compulsory assignments, and no one can move on until you approve them. A bit like set to draft in a way. So, and that next one we got here is enable discussions. So you can have discussions inside of each of the lessons. Now, I don't do this. I prefer to set up a community. And the reason I like to just set up a community is because I don't want to be answering questions from tons of video. Imagine, like, I've got some courses that have got over 300 videos in them, and if I had enable discussion on each one of those and people just asking questions inside there, then it just becomes a bit more of a time consuming thing. So if I enable it and mention that we have a community, then everyone can put their questions in there. And you tend to find in a community that if it is a silly question, people tend to find the answers before they ask. But if it's in a discussion, they will just put it down there and they won't even search for it themselves. And you want people to be proactive on your courses. I do anyway. You know, I think it's really important that people take control of what they're doing and actually motivate themselves to move forwards. So that is enable discussions, but a lot of people do use it, and you can put it in. I wouldn't put it on all the lessons. I just put it on some of the important ones, and that way it won't become too bad. So down here, this is the main place that we can upload content. So let's start with this. So I've got some videos in here. We're doing this tricks. So I've got this tricks video here. So this is a simple little quick video put together.
This is an example video to show videos uploaded to Zenler.
So that is a bit robotic, but there you go. And I just threw these videos out really quickly just to demo to you. So if we're going to put a video into here, and we can just go and click the video, and it will come up on this. Now you can search for it by clicking here, or you might have it on YouTube. So you might want to use embed code on YouTube. You can grab embed code and put it in there. So hopefully you guys ask me in the chat if you don't understand what embed code is on like videos. Next one we got here is the video library. Now I haven't got any videos in here, but if I did, they would all be listed down here. So I could reuse videos. So if I've got a video that it's the same in all 3 courses, I could just pick it and then just have it come straight in there. So this is the video library. These are videos that are hosted on your Zenler site. Okay, and now I'm going to upload. So I've brand new content, I'm going to upload. There's 2 ways to do it. I can click in there, or I can actually drag from my folder here and put it straight into there like that. And you're going to see, bam, because it's a really short video, it's going to load really quickly. Now, initially, you're going to see it do these little checkers. And this is, we use Vimeo to actually serve our videos up. So it has to process it, a bit like YouTube. You know, you upload a YouTube video and it says processing takes a while. Depending on the size, it can take longer. It's fairly quick. So if you do see this checker and it doesn't show, then just realize that it's just processing. So just give it a bit of time, you know, go away from it, come back. And this is why I bulk upload videos. I bulk upload all my videos. I can go away for an hour or 2. Generally, that's enough time for like 30 videos to be processed for me personally. And I come back and all my videos are all loaded all nicely. So it's in there, it's just processing. So if you see this, don't get worried. It will convert to the first thumbnail when it's finished. So let's do an audio now. So I'm going to do this for a video. I'm going to label these so you can see. So I'm going to go video intro, and we'll do one for each. So let's do another one now. Let's add a new lesson. So we're going to come in here and we're going to call this audio. So this will be an audio track that we're going to put in. This can be a WAV file, and we're going to go to audio. And again, I'll use a different method this time. I'll go and pick it out of here. So I've got an audio, and that will load up in there. Right, great. So let's add a new lesson. Let's go in here and call this PowerPoint. So this is a PowerPoint. This was just done using Google Tools. So I just created a PowerPoint presentation using that, all free software on Google. And we have it there. So that's the slide for that. You can see it's quite quick. Right, let's go and add one under week 2. If it asks you to save it, it's just because it's saving it out. So what do we got now? We're going to do, let's just do a text. So I'll show you how the text works. Very simple text editor. So we're going to go in here and click save to that because I've changed that. We're now going to go into, actually let's do I'll do PDF next. Let's go to text. So text is in the platform itself. So I'm going to call this, we just put something in it. This is a heading. This is body text. So I can format it in here. I can go to the formatting, put it into an H1 heading. And you can put stuff in like that. Might go to my page, actually grab a load of that. So simple text editor to put your text in there. And you'll see that in Zenler Extras. Inside this course, you'll see I've used just a text block. Now inside here as well, you can put links. So if I wanted to put a link in there to maybe another page, I can drop a link in there, insert. Let's put, like that. If you're going to an external link, just a little word of advice, just make sure it opens in a new tab. So it opens in a new tab like this, because then you won't lose them from the site. If it's an internal page, then yeah, you could do it as there, so it just replaces. All right, so once I click that in there, you're going to see that I've now got a link in there. You can do lots of other things in here, like put underlining in here. You can go in and make it bold, all these sort of things. Size changes. So if I wanted to take that, change the size in here, I can go to size, and then I can pick something like 24 in there. I can also go in and change the color. So if I select the text, I can go and make that more pleasing color there, and I can also put an image in there. So if I go to image, it's going to ask me to upload or choose. I do have some images already, so I'm just going to grab this little dog. If I click inside there, I can bring it down, and I can edit that, and I can actually float the position right if I wanted to as well. So it would appear like that. So nice little block. So you can do quite good things just with the basic text editor. Well, that's how that works. So let's now go and add another lesson. And this one I'm going to call it PDF. So this is PDF. No, people like PDFs. So we're going to do 2. We're going to do a PDF, and we're going to do a download as well. So here we go. I'm going to click PDF, and we're going to click in here, and I have a PDF example. I'm going to click open to that, and bang, it's appeared in there. So the next one I want to do is zip. So maybe you've got some content and you want people to be able to download it. So generally you want it like zipped up, or you'll want to actually just put those files in there so you can download. So I'm going to click next lesson. We're going to call this download. So I know a lot of people sell downloads and things, so this is how you can do that. And inside here we have download. So if I want to give them, for instance, that PDF that we just created as a download, I can just select it like that and click open. You need to title it. So I'm going to put it descriptively, download the PDF. I'm going to click start upload. And there we go. All right, so this is enough for us to have a look at the site and see how it's looking. So I'm going to refresh this page. Actually, let me go back because I want to make sure you're absolutely clear. So I'm going to go to the course access page now. And inside here, you're going to see they've all come up in here. So this is how the curriculum gets added. As I go through, it adds them. Now let me just show you something inside here. Let me just show you how you can put it into draft. So pretend I'm working on this lesson and I don't want people to access, but it's live. The course is live and people have bought it. So if I set it to draft and I click save, you're going to see that that lesson will no longer show. I'm just going to hold the control key and I'm going to hit in here to refresh this, and you're going to see it's disappeared. It's because I have put it into draft. So if I put it out of draft and then save it, and then we again refresh this page, you're going to see it will appear again. So it can be a really good way to hide content until you're ready to release it. Now the other good thing about this is we can drag things around. So you can go like this, drag it around. Maybe I also want this audio track to be in intermediate week 2. So I'm going to go here to copy lesson, and I'm going to go and select the course, which is, oh, I need to publish it. Oh, I didn't know that. So yeah, so I need to publish it, and then I can copy a lesson across. And I'll have to recap back to that one. It generally works. Maybe it's, need to refresh it. I might have to bring this up with Rakesh. I might have found the bug. Oh no, there it is. So if I'm copying this lesson, let's start again. I just needed to refresh the page. So in here, copy lesson. So I want to copy this lesson into this section. So I'm going to go copy lesson. I'm going to select the course, because you can copy lessons from other courses that you've got created. So we're going to go in here. I'm going to look for that lesson. There it is. I'm going to select that and I'm going to click copy. And there it is. So I've copied that from that to that. So that was a really big ask by some of you guys. You're asking, can I copy it? You'll also notice it automatically put it into draft, which is like a little safety feature. So if we undraft that now it will be viewable on the page like that. Okay, so that is course media. Now there are a few other things we can do, and I want to show you them now. These are more advanced, but I feel I should cover them. One is this web package that I've got here. So if you guys are creating kind of web packages, these are pages that are joined together, you can upload those to Zenler. So this is more of a kind of advanced subject. If you guys have got web packages or know about web software such as Dreamweaver, Front Page, any of these, and you're producing your own web content, you can use it inside of Zenler. And you can also use SCORM packages. So again, if you guys don't know about HTML packages, SCORM packages, switch your mind off now, because it might be too much, but it is very powerful. So I feel I should mention it, and as we have it in here, I need to show you. So I have these 3 web pages. They are linked together, okay, but they're self-contained in a package. Inside there are 3 images for each of the areas. So if I open this up now, I'm going to have a look at it. This is this page. So you can see I've got this logo and I've got this going on. All right, so now if I click this one here, I can jump between here. This is not on the internet yet. This is on my local computer, and these 3 pages are basically these pages here and here, and they're linked together, and it's an HTML package. All right, so you can upload an HTML package, and what this does is it means that inside the curriculum people could jump around for in the same lesson and have different content showing to them. Okay, so SCORM packages do a similar thing, but they're a little bit more interactive, and they're normally done on another site, and then you just take that package and you put it in there. Again, like if you don't understand what I'm talking about, just switch yourself off for a second. But I want to show you how it works in here. So with any package, you need to zip it up. So if I've got a package there, I would zip this package up. So I'm going to go send to compressed. and you're going to see it's going to appear down there. I think I've already got it zipped somewhere. Yeah, I've got it there already packaged up. So because it's zipped, it needs to be packaged up like that. So I'm going to go in here, and now we're going to upload SCORM HTML. So I'm going to create a new lesson, and we're going to call this HTML package, and then we're going to look at how it all shows. Let's go here, upload the package. There it is. Let's pick the one I created, just so you know I'm not cheating. Okay, and we'll call this web package HTML in this case, and click upload. So it's going to ask me to pick a page, so I need to pick one of the HTML pages. If I had a home one set, I would set home, but I'm going to pick that one. I'm going to click select. Okay, so now I have that package in there, and that's all ready to go. So let's have a look at how all this stuff works and looks inside the platform. There's one last thing, well, there's three things I haven't looked at yet. One is quizzes, surveys and assignments, and also custom code. Now custom code is custom code. Again, if you don't know about it, I have some custom code here which is HTML. So if I open this code up, you're going to be confused because it doesn't make sense to you, and that's fine, but just be aware that you can put code into a page as well. So if I create a new lesson and we call this code, then, and save that and go into the code, this just shows you the power. These are extra features, not the normal features, but I've put it in there, but it shows you that it has that ability of being able to load these extra advanced features such as SCORM HTML and custom code. If you're dealing later, you want something really elaborate done, then you might be hiring someone to do the code for you, and then you can feel relaxed in the fact that you can actually upload that to the system. So now we've got all these in here, let's go and have a look at them. So I'm going to go into the preview, and I'm going to go to course curriculum. Remember, it's not published, this course, no one else is seeing this, and I'm going to click course curriculum. So this is the course curriculum as I've got it, and you're going to see all this stuff down here. So video intro, this is my video intro, so if I click that, that will play inside there. Okay, I've got a PowerPoint presentation in here, so this is how the PowerPoint presentation is displayed. You can make it bigger here, and you can play this through like this, or go back, change the size, go back inside here. Yep, so that's a PowerPoint. Audio track, so this is how an audio track displays. So you can set playback speed.
If you want to do,
there you go. We've got the text editor that we just did with that little link in there. We have the PDF viewer, which is in here, which just gives you a PDF viewer that will go through all of your slides that you have. We have the download, which was the PDF, and if I click that, you'll see down the bottom, watch the bottom left hand corner down here. When I click that, it will download it to my desktop. So that's the download. Again, we copied that audio track, so it copied. And we have the HTML package, which is here, so I can jump between those pages inside the one lesson. And there we have the code block in there, which was just an About Us code block. So you see how powerful it is. Now, the other side of it is we can also add lessons inside lessons. So if I wanted to, I could have a video, and then I could go, right, okay, well, I want the audio to go with that. So I know it's already in my library. So there it is there. So I'm just going to select it. And now I've got that audio. So if I click back in here and refresh, you're going to see in the video intro, let's go there, we're now going to have not just the video but the audio below it. See there? So you can add multiple types inside of here, and you can also drag them and move them around. So you can drag them like this and move them around, and that works. So other things I need to talk about is the quizzes, because people love quizzes. Now we are revamping, this is important to note, we are revamping the quiz and we are revamping the survey sections. There's going to be a brand new version of this, because there's a lot of questions said about surveys where people like to have branching surveys. So it's not a linear survey as such, it goes off and it can go give different answers based on different selections. So we're going to be doing all of that. It's going to be branching surveys, quizzes as well. So it's going to be a lot more involved. So this is the first iteration of quizzes, and I'll just show you how it works now. So I'm going to go into this lesson. So I'm going to put it all in this lesson here. I could put it wherever I like. I could even create a new lesson. Let's create a new lesson. Don't know what I'm doing today. Right, let's just create a new lesson so you can see it on its own. Right, so we go create quiz. So let's call this dog test. I don't know what questions I'm going to ask myself, but this is a quiz, so you can actually say graded. So pass this quiz before continuing. So this is another way to hold people up. So if you want them to get a grade of like 100% or 90%, you can put 90% in here, and then you can put pass this quiz before continuing. So they've got to get 90% before they continue. Okay, so this is a good way of doing that to actually be able to grade them. So I'm going to give it 50 in this case, and we're going to go dog test. I'm going to click add. Now what's going to happen now is going to open up a new screen, but it's not a problem. We can get back to the curriculum there. We've laid it out so it's nice and easy to work with. We have question types, which is choices, media, and you've got true or false. So you might do a media quiz, like showing how a dog's doing something wrong, and the question might be like, what's going wrong here? What are they doing wrong here? So you could use a video, you could use media inside there. But we're going to use choices. So I'm going to get this choice, I'm going to drag it across and put it inside here like that. And then we're going to go, because it's a quiz, what shall I ask? I don't know what to ask. Oh, I don't know. I'll just put what to ask, question mark. And then for the answers to that, you can put in here the answers, and they've got to select the right one. So what to ask, let's just put how big is, I know this makes no sense at all, but you know, it is Sunday. How big is my dog? Right, how to stop barking. You know, you get the idea. And then I go in here, and you can add more and more and more. Now you can also say which is the right one and which is the wrong one. So by doing that, that's the correct answer. Okay, and if you select that one, that's the correct answer. You can also drop an image in there, and you can delete it out as well if it's not right. So let's add another one. Let's add a true or false. Click save. If you jump out accidentally, it will ask you if you want to save it. So I'm going to drag this one in here. And don't worry, we can move these around, no problem. So this is another one. So let's put in here, oh, what's it, true or, this is the better one for the other question, isn't it? So true or dog, dogs grow the more they eat, question mark. So true or false, yes, they do. So we give you that true or false, but you can override it or false, and false is going to be the right answer in this case. So that is how we can do the quiz. Now we have a lot of other settings under the quiz settings. So this is the quiz. Pretend we've done lots of questions there, lots of quiz questions. So under here you can see we can actually go in and change quite a few of the things that are going on. So you can set that passing grade, you can turn it off from here, so you're not stuck. Once you set that quiz up, you can actually just turn that off if you want to. So you can show the results on each question, you can turn that on or off. So you have lots of check boxes, check things to check across if you want to. You've also got a progress bar, whether you want it enabled or not. You have expiry, and you have a timer option. So if you want to give them a time to complete the quiz, if it was something like an IQ test or something, then you might want to time them. You've got messages and alerts, so you can change these to start the quiz for whatever you like to brand it. And you've got labels down here as well. So do you want it ABC or do you want it 1, 2, 3 for each of the answers, the the questions down, answers, labels and question labels. So you can change those over. Now we do have more advanced functions down the bottom of being able to actually style this as well. And this is where it loses a lot of people, because they're like, how does that work? But it's actually really easy. If you go down to styles here and we just check this on, this is the style that we're going to get. Let me just show you what it's looking like so far. Preview the quiz. So this is what it's like. So I click start, it goes what to ask, and you click that one, and then I click continue. So that's what we're getting. We're getting this kind of blue color and all this stuff, and then you answer this one and click finish. So I want to go back, so I'm going to close this preview down, and we're going to do a little bit of styling on the quiz. So if I go to the quiz and we click style and check that little button, what you're going to see is as you bring your mouse up and around here, you can actually select other areas, and this is going to change on this right hand side. So if I wanted to maybe set this in red, I could set this in red as a solid line. I can change a border, so I can put the border left, right. I'm going to leave it the same. And if I wanted to, I could get rid of that border completely by putting this on 0 or even putting this on none, and then the border would disappear. So you have control by going over these little areas and just selecting them. Like I've got a little border there, so I change that to red. And maybe even the background I'll change to something like a pale blue, like that. So you can see I can go in and I can change a lot of these colors and things inside here. So when you're happy with it, you click apply changes, close this down. Let's preview it now. Now we've added a little bit of color. So you can see the background is now blue, and we've got this red line running down here. So you can style it up. So this is how quizzes work. Now, lucky for us, once you've done the quiz and you understand what we're talking about now, surveys is exactly the same. So we're going to say we're finished with this one, and we're going to get back to our curriculum. So I'm going to go back to the curriculum, and we have our quiz. So we're now going to set up a survey. So I'm going to create a new lesson, go into survey and create a survey. So again, it's going to ask us what we want, and we're going to open up with familiar. Now we do have a few more things in here because this is a survey. So we've put in here rating, a scale and free text. So you can use a few extra ones when you take a survey from someone. So let's go in and take a true and false and just put and put in here only wider. There we go. So you're taking a survey from someone. You can also put down here if it's required. Okay, so you can force them to answer it. So I'm going to save that change, and you can also go in there and put rating in there. Let's just drop a rating in there. So rate the course 4 stars. We can also give it more stars if we want to by here with a slider. We can make this required and save the changes for that. And then we also have a scale as well. So again, you can add more to this if you want to, up to 10. Okay, make that required. You can show labels as well, and you can change these labels. Okay, so you can just type in there to change those labels. So that's how a survey can be set up. Of course, you can also put free text in there as well. So, and you can shuffle the order just like everything else in Zenler. It's all drag and drop. So inside here, we can add text in here. That's a question. But this is something we are working on. So I'm going to enable description. So please take this survey. And save that. Bring it to the top. Again, you've got all the settings that you've got for the quiz, so I don't need to go over those. So survey settings here, again, style, progress, all of these things. It's exactly the same. And of course you can preview the survey as well. So start survey now, and then survey, write your answer for free text, how likely are you, click that, and etc, etc. So that is surveys and quizzes. So it's the last thing to move on to now is assignments. Then I'm going to open up to ask you guys questions, because you probably have a few. But this is how we can create a course. Then we need to just look at the other things. So we need to look at the course details and the pages. At that point, we're kind of finished, because you've got a lot to do if you're going to start your course. Remember, you've got to get all your content, and the content is the time-consuming part about course creation. So last thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to add a new lesson. I'm going to call it assignments. So you guys loved assignments when we brought it out. It was really asked for by you, and you really wanted a way of being able to get assignments from people. Like for me, it's really good because I can now take critiques. So I was getting people to do, leaving them on their own really, or posting me on my Facebook group, like images that they created using my course. And now I can actually set them an assignment. So I can set an assignment and then I can do a critique for them. So they send me the video or the image through, and I can actually manually critique it. So assignments is really good, really powerful, and it's really easy to use. We're going to click assignments here. All you're going to do is just have something. So I'm going to put show me the training techniques I taught you. So something like that. Send me a video of you using the techniques shown, or images. Okay, so that is my assignment. That is what I've asked them to do. And down here, this is where you can get them to send stuff. So you can tell them they can either text a reply to you, or they can text a reply and they can upload a file. So in here, you can say the file limit, and I think 500 is okay. And they should be able to send a limit of that amount. So now when they do this assignment, they'll be able to send, they'll be able to write to you, and they'll be able to send a file. Now you could turn this off, so they only send a file, or you can just, so it's up to you what you want to do. Now, additionally, you can also put down here a file for them. So if you want to supply them with additional information, then you can. So you can go in here, and again, you can just select the file that you want. Let's just use this PDF, and I'll put that in there, and they'll then be able to download that for extra reference material. So down here also is another really handy button, and this is what I was saying to you earlier about how you can sort of restrict the flow of your students through a course. So if I have approved assignment before continuing, it means that they cannot go on to the next lesson or the next section until you approve them to do that. So this is another way to stop them going through. So you could still have all your course open, but they just can't go to that other section until they finish that. I'm going to leave this on because I want to demonstrate to you when we test it as a student. So now we have that done, I'm going to click add, and it's going to put it in here like this. So we're going to look at our curriculum again, and let's go into here. And now we have all our surveys. So we've got those new surveys that are in there. There we go, with that blue background. That's the quiz and the survey, and that's the survey there. This is the assignment. So they have that assignment where they can go, but so by clicking next, you're going to have to run through these videos. And if you click next, so it's showing completed there, PowerPoint. Let's just go through this. So I'm going to speed this process up by doing that. next lesson. So audio track, next lesson. So this is how someone would go through your quiz. So they're doing all these things, going through there, and they've done the assignment, go to next lesson, it's done this section, so they go on to this section. Now I can go further through this because I am admin, I'm not a student. Okay, so if I was a student, they wouldn't be able to go to here, because remember we set this assignment on compulsory, so they need to do this. You'll also notice that when we do set an assignment, you also have a comment box that appears in here, and this is a little bit different to the normal discussions, because this is a private chat. So if people put something in here, a student puts something in here, you're the only one that will see it. So it's not open. They'll see the little snail trail when they go back to their course, but none of the other students that are in the course will see this. So with assignments, it's a really personal experience between you and the student. So you are, you're doing the assignment specifically for them. It's not an open thing for them to discuss. Of course, they can go into communities, and you could also enable discussions for this as well if you wanted an open community, an open discussion in here. But this particular comment box is private, and you can see it starts with a private conversation with your instructor. So this is really handy as well to to build that sort of nurturing experience inside a course. So that is all. I think that's all of them. I've pretty much covered every single type that we can put into here. So I'm now going to stop the share for a second, and I'm guessing you guys are going to have some questions. So if you want to actually unmute your mic, you can. I know Mina had a question earlier. If you want to come on.
Dave, it was, hi, can you hear me?
Hi Mina, yeah.
Hi, no, my question was not about this. My question is, check the chat, please, right now. It's about next week's class. As you were speaking on there, it says it's 12:00 p.m. Sorry, 12:05 p.m., which is 4 a.m. here. So I just wanted to check, because you said every week it's at the same time.
It is. Oh, have I set the time wrong on the?
Yeah, I just checked. I just sent you the link here for you to check.
Oh, thank you. Okay, I'll check in there, because it is the same time every week. It doesn't change. So maybe it was I don't know, a New Year slip or something.
Okay.
But thank you for that.
Yeah.
No, brilliant. Thanks, Mina. Right, okay. So any other questions? I know there's some in the chat. Now you guys need to know, I like you to come online. I like you to actually tell me, because it's really difficult for me to go through all of the chat that goes on. So I can see there's not many questions, but if you want to come on, you can. So let me have a look.
Can I ask about the school?
Who's this?
It's Iltaf. Can I ask about the school?
Yeah.
Because I've got more than 100 individual SCORM courses. So can I load them in the same way that you loaded the HTML?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Test it out. And some people have had problems with some of the SCORM packages. I think there's a particular version, but yes, you can exactly the same way. So you should have a zipped file from a SCORM. It should automatically zip it, and then you just upload it in there, and then you find the index file, the root file, and then from there it should load in there. If you do have a problem, send an email to support@zenler.com.
Wonderful, thank you.
That's all right. Good to see you, Utaf. Right, so what we got here?
May I ask a question, please?
All right, yep.
My name's Lindsay.
Hi, Lindsay.
Hi, thank you for doing the tutorial today. It's been really, really helpful. My question is, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, I'm setting up I'm setting up my site. I'm a life coach and hypnotherapist, and I'm setting up, rather than it being on full course creation as one-to-ones as well, but in the form of a course. So I can upload health forms, and I can upload audios and documents and things such as that to them as well. Is there a way that I can keep anything private within this format, so it's just one-to-one with my my clients. So for instance, in the assignments, I can set a generic assignment for people, but is there a way that I can upload like an audio between one person to another person rather than to everyone?
Yeah, I mean, right. So if it's specifically for one client that you're doing unique content, obviously you'll have to do a separate course for them. But
Separate one.
if you're handling it coming through that all of the content is the same, except you want to spend a bit of time or supply additional information to someone, then assignments would be the way to do it. Because you saw that comment box, that is actually a private chat between
Yeah.
you and your client or your student. So from
Yeah.
there, instead of using a PDF, you could also send them an audio file. You could also send them a video. You could also put inside there, when they comment back to you, you could then send them a link to maybe a live session that you're going to do specifically for that person. So you can do it.
All.
Yeah, you can do it that way. You can also tag that, if you've got those users in you'll have them as part of that course, but you could also go in there and you could tag them. So then you can then email them individually and maybe set up different live sessions. I don't know how you want to work it, but there's always a way to be able to do that. So we haven't covered, what's really good, Lindsay, is we haven't covered lives yet, but we're going to. So we're going to be covering memberships, and we're also going to be covering how to add lives in there. So that's going to be really interesting for you. I'm kind of holding back a little bit, and that's why you probably noticed I haven't mentioned lives yet in here as part of the course thing. And the reason I haven't done that is because we have a update coming up that is going to change everything as far as lives are concerned, because we're now going to have the ability, and I hope it should be launching, it'll be launched. We can't give an ETA, but it's going to be very, very soon. All right, so that's all I'm going to say. But there's going to be the ability to be able to put lives, actually, and assign lives that you create into the course. So as part of the curriculum, they can go through and they can just click and go to a live. Now, this is going to be a game changer, because it means that it's actually, at the moment, the way we had it before was we set a live and then you basically selected from a course, but now we're going to be actually inside the course and be able to select a live. So it's going to work in a different way that's going to be much better for your students, because it's like, if you've seen this course and you've seen the way I've set it up, I'm using the webinar block to show you when the next live is coming up, but that I won't have to use that. I will actually be able to create it as a lesson type. So I'll do the section like for the workshop 5, and then in there will be the live. So you'll just better go in there and you won't have to click anything. It's just going to be the live and you can just go straight into it. So this is a big one. It goes hand in hand with the paid lives, and I think for Lindsay it's going to be really helpful for you as well, the live sections.
Thank you. One of the follow-on questions from what you said about the chat. Where do I find the dialogue of the chat within the platform? So if they did comment, where would I find the assignment uploads, or is that all in our course dashboard, and the chat specifically? Where would I find the dialogue there showing up?
Right, you'll get notification settings in the platform themselves. So it's really easy. I haven't tested this stuff out, so I always go through a phase of showing you how to do things, and then I go through the really most important thing, which is to test it as a student. But what you'll get is, inside your platform, you've got this little bell icon, and whenever someone sets an assignment to you, this is what I do. This is the way I find it easier to do it, is whenever someone sends an assignment, even sends you a review, puts a comment or does a discussion or adds to the community, you're going to get it appear in here. So when you click it, you're going to get a load of names come up in there. Like you can see, I've got some Mary put a few questions in there, and you can see it comes up. And you basically check them off as you're going through them. So that's how it works. It's pretty easy. You can just go through there, click that question, and then it comes up. So really easy to find where people are sending you information.
Okay, lovely. Thank you so much for your help. Really appreciate it.
That's all right. No problem. Right. Any other questions?
Yes, I did state a question about the moving customer domain from WordPress to new Zenler.
Oh, is this Murray?
Yes.
Hi,
Would
hi.
you like to take it now
Uh,
or
yeah, can you briefly
back
tell
later?
me what is the hosting provider you're with?
I have a local Finnish web hotel, and just received an email from them giving me advice. I try to translate. My domain is using the WordPress domain service, so they recommend me to change these name services to their also this network web hotels name service. Probably you get instructions where you are told the IP address where the domain should be directed.
Yeah, we're not using IP addresses. We're not using A
Okay.
records. We use what's called CNAME record. A CNAME
CNAME
record.
record. Okay.
Yeah, so you need to go into your host provider, and it doesn't matter. I'm not sure. So I think you basically need to repoint it. So at the moment it's pointing at your WordPress site, but you'll need to swap it over to point at Zenler's.
Yes.
So if you follow that, then it will work. But Murray, what I suggest is you PM me after this and we talk about
Okay.
it, because it's really like this is really a really big problem, because a lot of people are using lots of different hosting providers. They might be like 123.reg, they might be GoDaddy, you know, people might have bought stuff from Google. You know, there's thousands and thousands of different domain registrars, and they all kind of work in a similar way, but not exactly the same way. So what we did is we set up a few video tutorials on how to do it using cPanel, which is a way to change domain records using Zone Editor, and it's common on a lot of platforms. We also did it showing you how to do it for GoDaddy and Namecheap as well. So we covered those main ones because obviously we can't do one for all of the thousands of different domains. So you need to look at what we've already done and then use that as a base to change your own one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will PM you. Thank you.
Yeah, it's just but I will talk to you if you're having trouble with it. I will talk to you personally about it. The other thing, of course, where are you from, Murray? You
From Finland.
Finland, yeah. So if it's in Finnish, I'm not going to understand it. I can try, but so yeah, come back to me if you get stuck. Come
I
back
will.
to me on it.
Okay. Thank you.
I'll send you a video on the GoDaddy and the Namecheap one, because I think by watching that you should be able to use that to go across. Also, it's not a bad idea to ask on the Facebook group, because a lot of people are doing it all the time, and I know someone that will help you, and her name is Phoenix. She's on the Facebook group and she's helped a lot of people that have come from lots of different domain places. So between us, we should be able to sort you out, you know.
Okay. Thank you very much.
It's all right. Claire? Hi, Claire.
Hi, sorry, could you just show me again where that little bell is and how you get that? Because I can't seem to find it on my...
Are you in the admin?
Yeah.
So it's on every page. It's here. It doesn't matter where you are. It's on every page.
Right, hang on. No, I don't have a bell. I've got reports, preview, and then me, and then the little arrow down.
Oh. Are you admin?
Yeah.
Master admin of the site, yeah?
Yeah, I'm the only one. Yeah.
Have you set up any communities?
No.
Have you
Is that why?
Have you set up any assignments?
No. Is that why?
Oh, probably, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So until you do that, as soon as you do set up a community, and you can set up a community really quickly, you just go to communities and then add a community. You don't need to tie it to any course initially. You could just set up a community and test that bell comes up, but that might be why.
Oh, okay.
That could be why it's not working. If not, definitely send a mail to support@zenler.com because it should be coming up. So that's why
Right.
I asked if you were admin or, you know, you set those things up. So yeah, so nice one, Claire. So if
Great,
you
thank
haven't
you.
set up a community or you haven't set up any of the stuff where people can communicate with you, like discussions, then your bell might not appear. So good question. Lovely. All right, guys, so we're ready to move on to the pages now. So we've already done some pages on our site. So I'm going to roll it back. So we've looked at all the different stuff that we can do to build our curriculum. Okay, and it's really easy, drag and drop. The hardest thing, like we talked about earlier, is creating the content for it, organizing your content. When it's all organized and you've created it all, it's really simple to upload it into the system. Okay, and you've also noticed that we are working unpublished, so it's easy for us to preview our curriculum page and our course access page, and so we can do that without the site, without the course being live. So you've got your course, hopefully it's already up there, and you've got a lead magnet in there, or you've got your forms in there, so you're collecting leads and you're just working on this, and you can be leisurely about it. You don't have to rush, you just need to make sure everything's right as you work through. So the other thing we haven't talked about is the process of the course itself. What happens when we create a course? How do people get to buy the course and all of those things? So obviously this is really important because this is the process going through, and this is why I said it's really important that you understand how the process behind it all. So let's jump to the screen share again, and let's go to the all-important pages. So pages, we've created this like a funnel. Just notice it's coming down. It's a bit like one of the marketing funnels. I know we haven't got onto those workshops yet, but it's the similar thing. It basically means they're funneling down through the sales page to the checkout page to buy your course. Then once they bought your course, they'll then go to a thank you page, and then they'll have access to what's called the course access page. Right, so with that in mind, the course access page is completely private. No one gets access to the course access page unless they've paid for the course, or of course they've gone through one of your payment plans. It could be a free course, but no one will get access to it until they have paid for it. This is the most important thing about course pages. Course access page, no one gets access unless they've paid for your item. Right. However, the sales page and the checkout page are public. The thank you page is a little bit of an anomaly. It means that the thank you page only really comes up once they've bought the course. So once they've gone through the checkout page, it only really appears once, and from that point it doesn't appear anymore. So they've bought your course, they've run through the funnel. So what is the most important thing we need to do is we need to set up our sales page. Our sales page is our front page. It's the same as our page that we have here that we've created. So I'm going to do dog trick training. So this page here that we already set up as a page just to get people into the site. This page is going to be, once I repeat when I actually do the launch the course, this page here will be replaced by the sales page, because we no longer need this page here. It was just a holding page to tell people about this part of the training. Okay, that's why we had these drop downs. So I'm going to be replacing this page, and when I do the dog anxiety course, I'll also replace the dog anxiety page with the sales page for the dog anxiety course, and toilet training exactly the same. So it's a replace. This page was set up to just get people into the course ready for when you launch the course. So hopefully that's clear. So public page, sales page, checkout page, so they can buy the course. This appears once, and then the only people that get access are people that have gone through this process, and that's why we've done it as a funnel. So we need to style our pages, and sorry about this, I've got someone banging. So we need to style our pages. So we're going to run into the editor. Now the editor works exactly like all our page builder on our site pages, exactly the same thing. So what you need to do, what is your challenge, is to edit the sales page, get the checkout page looking like you want to, the thank you page, and start adding your content into the course access page. We're not going to touch, for this week's homework, don't touch the course access page, leave it as it is. So the course access page looks a bit like this at the moment. So it's just this and this, right? We're not going to touch anything else. Because we're going to do that later, because when we start to move into the more advanced parts of the course, I'm going to show you how to drop links in there to jump between different courses inside of a bundle. So we're not going to do a lot of work on this. It's more important that you have your sales page up, because this will function as a course, you know. I don't need to do anything to that at this stage, but feel free to vamp it up if you want to. You can make it look nice, it's up to you, but the most important page at this stage is your sales page. So we're going to go into the editor for sales page and have a look what we put together for you as a default page for a course. And what we do is we supply a block in the top and a video to go in there. You don't need to use any of it. In fact, you could delete it all out and start again if you wanted to. We just give you a starting point. So this is what we give you. It will come up like this. So I might decide to put in my video here that I've done for the promo. Remember that little video I did? So as it's tricks and tips, what I'm going to do is select the little gear icon. By the way, I can delete this out, right? Just before I add this, I can delete it out. So I'm going to go into settings here, inside here, into settings, and I'm going to go into our media library, and there it is. I've already got it. So there it is. So now I'm going to change the background image. So I've already got a nice image in here, and I'm going to swap him out for this image here and put an overlay. We are going green, so I'm going to put that in a kind of greeny colour, and then I'm going to change this to white. So I'm just making it look presentable and adding extra text in there if I want to. So gear icon, always use the gear icon, and then we'll choose something like that. Okay, of course you can change the sizes and all these things. So when we created the course initially, remember we actually put text in for a course summary. So this is the text. It's taken that text and put it in there. It also took our subtitle and put it in there. You can see it says dynamic block and dynamic. So if I was to change the name of the course here, and I was to change it to something like 1, and I'm just going to click update. If I now refresh this page, you're going to see that this, it's going to revert back because I don't think I saved it, but it doesn't matter. So when it loads back up again, you're going to see that it will say 1 at the end there, and that's because it's pulling information in from that area. So once this loads, you can see it says it there already, and you can see it says it there. Okay, so if I was to change this text in here, and click update, that will change that text in there. So again, I'm going to refresh it. Now that video changed and the image changed because I forgot to save it before I refreshed the page. So that's my bad there. So, but it's 2 seconds to change it back over. So other thing is page editor. Lots of people have said that it takes a long time to load. So yeah, it's taking me probably about 8 seconds there. Sometimes it does take longer. We are working on an upgrade for this so that it works a lot quicker. So you can see there, it's changed that text now. So dynamic blocks pull content in from other areas. So where you see dynamic block, it's normally pulling something in from somewhere else. That's all you need to know about it. So let me swap this back over again and just do it quickly. And the thing is, once you're actually in the page editor, it works really quickly. So that's a plus. Right, let's go and change that over for that new video. So I'm going to change that video. Remember, I could upload a video as well, so I don't need to use the same one. I could upload a new video in there if I wanted to. And enrolling course. Again, all of this is changeable, so you can change everything around. I can make the text bigger. Take your time with it. Join the training. This button will automatically go through to the checkout page, by the way. So again, make sure you SEO everything. So you'll want to put tricks, skill, training, and you'll want to expand on that for dogs, and then you write a little paragraph about what it actually is, and some keywords in there. I don't want to get too much into SEO, but you put tricks for dogs, comma, and then the next keyword statement, and do about sort of between 5 and 10 of those in there, and then obviously set a course image as well. Now I have a few images in here, so I'm going to select one there, and that's how my SEO will look. That's how my preview will look for the SEO. I'm going to click done to that, and then work through this. So you guys need to obviously write content for this. You might not want it to say course summary because it sounds a bit weird. You might want to call it training your dog in tricks and tips, or whatever you like. And of course, you know, you can go in here and you can change all this stuff so you can make it look a lot nicer. Go in here. And add more content to it. If you want to, you can use a few blocks. Remember, this is the sales page of your course that your training that you're doing. It's the most important page because this is what will entice people to buy. So you want to take your time and make it look really nice. If there's blocks you don't want, like this block here, I don't need that block. I'm going to delete it out, and I don't really want that block, but you might have someone's giving you a review and put a review down there. The important block down here is course pricing, which we haven't got into, but that is our sales page. So inside here, let me just change that. Inside here, we can also go to the rest of the funnel. So I could go to the checkout page. So I'm going to jump to the checkout page now, and I want you to also format the checkout page. Maybe some of you don't want to offer a 30-day money back guarantee. So you might want to delete the little badge out. I know a lot of people want to. So if you have this come up here, just go in there and you can delete that out if you don't want that in there. Of course, you can add a new header. So I made some blocks. I saved some blocks from my page, this tricks page, or the home page in particular. So if I want to use this block, right, little tip for you, I can go to that page, which is a tricks page. I'm going to just right hand click and open a new tab and go to the pages. I often do this. I'll open a tab, and then I'll go back. So I've got this training tricks, that's the one I think, and I'm going to just edit that page, and I'm going to save that block out, and then I'm going to use that block in the other pages. So it means I'm not duplicating up on work. I'm not having to redo things because I've already done it once. So I can just copy that block, put it into a new page, adapt it if I need to, and it's all going to work. So this is the page here. So I'm going to take this when it's loaded. I'm going to save this out. I'm going to call it tricks. Click save. Okay, so that will be saved. And now I'm going to jump. I'm going to close those pages back down, and we're going to drop that into this page. So I'm going to refresh the page. Make sure you refresh the page as well, because the block won't be loaded yet because you've just saved it. No. So, no drops. Hello. Right, so now the page is loaded back up again. If I go to blocks, go down the bottom, custom blocks, and where is it? There it is there. So I click that block and drag it up, put it in there, and then I've got that lovely header. So I don't, I can then adjust it. And click save. So that's on the checkout page. Now, again, SEO that page up as we did before. And your plan, when you've set a pricing plan, it will appear in here. Now, we've also got these blocks in here, and I tend to delete these out. So I'm going to this block here, deleting out, and that's it. All right, so you need to set up your sales page, your checkout page, so they look nice. This is the homework that you need to do. Make sure that you do use that basic SEO on those pages. And if you want to, you can do the thank you page and the course access page. If you want to just make it look nicer, or just want to play around and test it out, then do that. So depending on time, so you'll need to put some content together for your sales page. Obviously, if you have got all your course material, and I realize that if you're new to this, it's going to take you a while to create all your course material, so your PDFs, your videos and text and everything for the course curriculum part. But you can certainly do the sales page, the checkout page now. You can certainly get that done, and then you can slowly start to build your curriculum up over time. All right. So next thing we need to look at is pricing. Now, I don't want to get too bogged down by pricing at this stage, because you might be doing different things. You might be applying a pricing to a membership site, and in which case you probably want to use bundles. So I'm going to go over it briefly just to show you. Now, one thing, if you're using pricing and you get an error, it's generally because you haven't set up your payment integration. So to get to payment integration, let me just save this and close this, and I'm going to show you where the payment integration for both PayPal and Stripe are. So if we go into site, go down to, on the left hand side we have this integrations, and just make sure that your PayPal is set up or your Stripe is set up in here. Otherwise you cannot take a payment type inside here. So I'm going back to courses now, where that course we started working on is. I'm going to click edit, and in the course detail I'm going to upload the course card that I created in Canva that I showed you a few hours back. So I'm going to go change, and we're going to go and find that course card, and I want to do the tricks one. So I think that is that one, tricks and skills. I'm going to click there. I'm going to drag this into the corner by left mouse dragging, and then in the corner I'm going to drag this, and I'm going to drag it out like that. It's the right size. This is 1920 by 1080, this image, which is the format that I use for most of my images. And click crop and save. Now we have a lovely course image in there, and we started building our curriculum. We're going to do our pages. You're going to do those. We've talked about drip. We're going to talk about automations in another workshop, and we have all this set up. So one thing in this course details page I just want to look at is these buttons here, because you can see that it says show course progress between screens. This is like a little, you know, those little badges that were coming up showing when you completed them. You can just turn that off. If you don't want that to happen, you can turn it off there. You can also set an enrollment limit, so you can actually say how many people you want in this course. You can also do an enrollment limit with the pricing option as well, just so you understand. You can also enable certificates. If I click enable certificates, I can enable one of these certificates. So I can go down through this list of certificates and I can pick one, or you can create your own. So you can make the course secret. So even if you publish the course, I can still make it secret in here. But understand, make the course secret doesn't mean that it's not available to buy or people cannot find it. It just means that it will not show up in the course block. It won't pull that data in. It doesn't mean that it's secret from everybody. It just means it's secret from the site itself. The site won't show it. Okay, so that's the difference, because people have been confused by that. If you don't want people to be able to get into your site in any way, do not publish it, and then they can't. So next one is we've got make course price hidden. So sometimes you might want to make the course price hidden so that people can't buy it, because you might be finding out what course price you want to do, and you might want to change it. So you might want to make it hidden, and then people can't buy it either. So you might have published the course, you've published the course, but you still don't want people to buy it. You can just make the course price hidden, and then no one can buy it, so they can't register into the course. All right. And you've also got make course featured. So we have what's called a featured block, and we're going to talk about that when we actually put it into the site itself. And we're going to talk about a lot of these. And we also have categories. Remember right at the beginning we set up those categories. So if I click in this box, I can select the category. I can select multiple categories, and I can also delete them out as well. So if you want to use categories, you can do it inside here. And this one here is the instructor. So I've got Rakesh here and me. As I'm the instructor, I'm going to put David in there. So that is how that area works. So we looked at that. So now we need to look at pricing. So with our pricing, when you first come into it, remember you need to set up your pricing option inside of PayPal or Stripe to take a payment. If you get an error and it says no pricing option enabled, it means you haven't set up PayPal or Stripe. So you need to do that before you can add. So let's add a new pricing plan. We're just going to go through these very quickly. We're not going to put any in place yet. We're going to do that in the next workshop. Okay, so inside here we have some options. So we have free pricing option. This means the course is free. You need to enable it so that people can see that it's free. So you could click that, click next, and then you're able to go through and enable this. So I'm going to call this free, and it is free. And you can write a description there. This is the buy button. So at the bottom, free. You buy this free course. So I can put something like buy this free course. And remember, you can always jump back into these and edit them. If it doesn't look right to you, you can change the wording later. It's not a problem. We can also add bullet points underneath. You can set an enrollment limit. Remember, we could do that on the course itself earlier, but we can also set it inside here. So you could say, right, well, I'm going to charge, but the first 10 people that come in, they're going to get the course for free. So I could go, there we go, 10. And then if they try to go into the free pricing plan and it's the 11th person, it would just say not available to you, and then they'll have to buy it. So this could be a good way of doing that. You can also set what's called availability. So availability for this particular pricing plan can be set by a date, a start date and a close date for when this pricing option is open. I'm going to turn both of these off. And the last one here is tiers. So we haven't got onto the membership part of the site, but this is another way to do a membership site. You can set up tiers. So if I have a course curriculum with 4 sections that all have their own lessons inside, I could set a tier up for say $10, and then you get access to section 1. I could set another tier pricing level up for access to section 1 and 2, and maybe charge $20 for that, and so on. So I could charge another one opening the whole course up, sections 1, 2, 3 and 4, and I could charge say $35, slightly cheaper, to have access to all of the sections. This is how pricing tiers work. Pricing tiers work that you give access to people who are paying, and you give them access to certain parts of the course. That's what tiers are in a nutshell. So now I've got this set up as free. These options you're going to see here, here and here are available in pretty much all of the plans that you can pick. So I'm going to set this up as free. So that's done now. That's done as free. So let's preview the sales page now. Let's go into the sales page. And now I've got this sales page here. If I come down the bottom, I've got a pricing option appeared. It says free. So we can add more than one pricing option to a course. So I'm going to add a new plan. So I'm going to go through these. One-time price. So I'm going to click next. Let's say that this one is $100. So put $100. I'm going to call it one-off pricing, so you see. And again, you can put a description here. This is the buy button. That's this button. Yeah. So it's just going to say buy now. And we have add bullet points, set enrollment limit. Again, you can set an enrollment limit, availability, tiers, and then we've also got this EU tax category. So this is be handy for some of you guys. You can have tax exempt, a physical or a physical survey or a service, or a digital. because you could sell a physical product, or you could be an actual service for someone, like website design, for instance, or personally going to someone's house to train their dog. So an actual service or digital. So we're giving you that option in there now. So this is the one-off pricing plan. So if I hit finish to this, we go back to the page and I refresh, you're now going to have two pricing options come up. So I've got this one here and I've got this free one here. So next one we're going to do, add a new pricing plan, is the subscription. So in subscription you have a lot more options. So subscription would be someone subscribing to pay certain times of each year. So you might want to do a 1 year subscription, so they pay each year, they pay the same. Mostly people do it monthly, so you're charging it as X amount per month. So I'm going to do a monthly subscription here of $10 US, and inside here I'm going to say monthly, so every month that will go out. So I call this, so it's easy subscription there, and of course you can all the usual buttons except a few more. We have set an additional fee. So this could be really handy if, for instance, you say you're a dog trainer and you want to send them out a kit, like maybe a clicker, maybe a collar and lead, a specific things that you want to send out, and you want to set an initial fee. So once someone signs up for the course, you might want to charge them like $50 for the equipment that you're going to send out to them for them to take part of the course. So this is called an initial fee. After that point, they will only pay the price per month that you've got in there. So if I turn this on, I can set an initial fee, and in this case, let's say 50. So the first payment, it would be charged upon the plan. So this would be charged once, and then every other month it would revert to that. So we set this being able to add an additional fee on here. Now we also, because it's a membership site, you might want to have people come in to see what you're offering them, and you might not want them to commit to anything. So if that's the case, you'll probably want to set trial days. So you can come in here and you can select a number of trial days so they get free access. So you might want to set 3 days free. If you love it, you'll go in there and buy it. So they have 3 days, and then they can if they don't like it, then they can cancel it and they don't need to go into it. So two really handy features of subscription in there. Again, we have all the usual stuff. Also notice right down the bottom, and this is the same on all of them, if you set up a community, you can tie it to a course. So you could you could have multiple, you can have unlimited communities inside Zenler with the Pro and the Premium plan. And if you set up a community, you can set up a community per course. So people that are doing course A will have that community. People that are doing course B will have that community. Course B students can't look at community A, and course A can't look at community B. So you separate them out. So this is a really good thing as well, that you've got the ability to be able to do that. Plus you can set up a community for anyone that registers on your site. So in other words, everybody that's on the site as well. So that is subscriptions, flying through that. And if we click finish to that now, that will set up that as a subscription, which leads us on to the last one, which is payment plan. So inside here, now we've got this subscription per month. So last one we've got inside here is our payment plan. So payment plan allows you to take payments, normally for a high ticket item. So if I'm going to do 4 payments, I'd say it's I don't know, 4,000. We might want to take 4 payments of 1,000. So we go in here and it multiplies it. So we just put an installment of 4. Again, you can set an additional fee as well, and you can also go down here and set this community, but we haven't got free trials inside of a payment plan, because a payment plan is kind of like a one-off payment. It's just split over 4. So that's that one. So I'm going to go in there and call it payment plan, usually used for high ticket items. Okay, high ticket courses like that, and click next. So that's loaded, so let's go in there, and there we go. So 4 payments of 1,000 be 4,000. So you can see how that works. So it's a multiplier, that payment plan. So that's how you do it. So today we looked at all of the different medias we can put in the site. We looked at all of the pages. So those pages you need to design up to make look nice. You know, you can copy something like the original page that you did for this, like tricks. So you could use that same content, put it into there, it uses the same page builder, save those blocks out, and then just paste them into the sales page if you want to reuse them. So you could actually make it identical to this if you wanted to. So we looked at that. We've looked at all of the pricing options, and of course all the course details and how to do the card. So we covered quite a lot. It's 2 hours in, so we've covered an awful lot today. I know it's a lot to take in, and I know I've gone quite quickly over things. Your homeworks for this is really easy. It's just set up your, think about the pricing plan. You don't have to commit to anything at this stage. You just have to think about it. Go online, see what other people are charging. That will give you a good idea of where you should be in the market as far as a price point is concerned. But also remember what you're giving them against what someone else is giving them. Okay, look at competition on the internet, Google competition, find out what they're doing, look at their sites, see if you like the look of what they're doing, and you can style it into your site as well. And this is why I said your site might change based on what you're doing with your course. So it could change a bit. You might change and shuffle things around. This time in your course creation process is a very fluid time. You're trying to bed down where you are and get your kind of brand and colors and all of these things. So it is a really, you know, exciting time for you. So think about your pricing. We're going to talk about automations. It's a bigger subject and I want you to really understand it. You've got enough to do. You've got to do your sales page. You've got to do your checkout page. You know, style up your thank you page as well. You can make that look better because it's, you know, put a background image in there or something. And you can, if you want to, change your course access page. Now remember, I haven't mentioned anything about lives. That demands its own workshop because there's a lot to it, and I know a lot of you are doing live sessions, and so I just want to focus on lives as a separate part of this course creation part of the live Sundays. But that, I think we've covered everything you need to know. This video, it's going up tomorrow into the course, as well as the PDF that I showed you earlier, which I'm going to add a bit more information to make it clearer. And then we're ready for next week. So I'm going to make sure that that time is the same as we started this week. So if you've registered yourself for it, if you haven't, make sure you do. And next week we'll get into getting a bit more in depth with this stuff. And I also want to ask more questions next month because I want to see where you guys are. So maybe try and get something in order so that you can send me the link so we can actually have a look on. So it'll be a longer session again, but I'll probably do an hour of the workshop and then maybe like an hour to actually looking at what you've done and more of a discussion period before we move on. Okay guys, so any questions? How are we doing? You all good? We got Lindsay's got a question.
Hi, yeah, sorry to ask a question again. Going back to the 30 days guarantee, there is just below that, you've got the circle saying 30 days guaranteed, and underneath there said secure checkout, something private and something guarantee. Does that satisfaction guarantee also mean money back guarantee, or is that different? Because you can't take individual, you just take the whole block out. When you highlight it, all three of those come out, not just one of them. Right,
yeah, but if you use any kind of image editing software, you could just cut it out. Then re-upload it. So if you wanted to, yeah, I mean, I'm guessing like it's a hard satisfaction guarantee. I mean, it doesn't have to be. It's like satisfaction guarantee. Like if someone's coming to you, I mean, with me personally, even if it's after the 30 days, if they've got a real issue, they're not getting satisfaction. So I will give them their money back. I've never had to do that. Some people have said the download's not working, and that's been my fault. So I've just uploaded the download. So I say satisfaction guarantee is like really they come back to you. I mean, you could actually specify your satisfaction guarantee in your terms and conditions if you want to go that far. So it's up to you. But what I would do if you don't want to remove that, just take it into any image editing, use like Pixlr or something, cut that bit out, move the secure checkout nearer, and then just upload it.
Okay, perfect. Because I think on the next page, I could be wrong on this. I'm not at my laptop, but I remember like the last that I couldn't remove that 3 items I just mentioned, icons, because it's part of the dynamic box. I could be wrong in that, but I remember thinking I couldn't. Am I wrong in that?
Hold on.
On the next page, so you got the checkout, and then where it takes you to the payment page. Like we actually process the payment.
This is the.
So we're. Oh, there's maybe it's the next page. Then there was one page that I wasn't able to take it out of.
Are you sure that wasn't the? Are you sure that wasn't the payment, the PayPal terminal or Stripe terminal itself?
It might have been the terminal. Yeah, it could have been where you actually put the details in. I think, like you put your card details in.
Yeah. Oh, that'll be PayPal or Stripe. Yeah, that's nothing to do with Zenler. That's
separate.
Yeah, I mean, in fact, they would be putting things in there that need to be in there by law, so they wouldn't allow that to be. That's the next part after you've taken the payment. That's the next page you go to, and then you're going to see, because they've already gone through the payment process. They can click continue to course, and then they will go to the course access page. Remember, guys, also we haven't tested yet, so you need to get this stuff done, and then next week I'm going to start to show you how you can test it as a student, so you can go through and actually test it and see what the students getting. We're not going to do that yet because I need to talk to you about automations, because we also need to see what emails they're receiving, so you've got full control. And I need to also explain the difference between system emails and automations inside the site itself. So a lot of really exciting stuff to do. This is kind of the grunge work, you know. We need to, I know it's the most important part in a way because it's your course and your site, but it's almost like you need to get through this to learn some of the really interesting things you can do in the platform itself. So all fun and games, but hopefully you've enjoyed yourself. I have put a review at the bottom of the course, this course. So if you want to review it now, or if you want to review it later, that'd be really good. But it's really good to get feedback from you, especially to know if I'm doing a good job. You'll notice that Kevin, Alice and myself are asking for more reviews because we want to see how we're doing it, and importantly, how we can do better if we're going at the right speed for you. So by looking at everyone's going to have a different speed you work at, and it's getting that balance right. So we need to know, are we going too fast? Do we need to slow it down? You know, what do you want? So reviews for us really help. I'm also, for this course, going to putting an assignment in at the end where I actually ask for your views and how I could have done things better and these sort of things, because I think it's really interesting, because I will take that views from you and I will talk to the team about it as well, and we'll talk about how we can make things better.
I have a quick question about the site.
Okay, fire away.
It's DeWanda.
All
Sorry.
right, DeWanda.
I haven't done my site yet. Do I? And I have a site name from another provider, but does Zenler offer URLs?
You can't buy URLs from us. You have to point them to us.
Okay.
We're not a domain host. We're not a reseller of domain names.
Yeah, so I have a domain name and I'll have to figure out how to get it connected to the site. I haven't done my site yet either, so.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a good to wonder. What I would say, because you're in a really good stage at the moment, is work on your site. Get your site ready before you hook it up to your domain name. Get all your site ready first, you know. And the reason I say this is because if you've got your domain name and it's not being entered on Google search results and stuff, then you don't want to hook it up now, because if it does get entered on Google search results, it could be kind of an unfinished site. So get it ready, and then when you finish the site, done that, followed the have you done the any of the other workshops that I've done?
Yes, I just finished the course creation. I don't know, that ended on Friday, and then I'm signing up for this one too. So.
Oh, right. Oh, you done Kevin's challenge?
No, I was with you last week. Monday.
Oh, oh, right, yeah, right, for the same one.
This week, I should say this week, Monday through Friday, I was with you, and now I'm trying to do everything that I can do because I've owned this for almost a year and I haven't done anything. So
Right. Well, you make sure that you're taking part in the course for this as well. Did you see the link that I sent out earlier?
yes,
So you sign up for that, watch those replays because I talk about how to create the site, put the site together, and hopefully you can get to a stage where you can catch up with us as we're moving forwards.
okay, sounds great.
Fabulous.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
Sorry, could I ask one more question? Just a quick one.
Of course.
To be included in the next one. I really do appreciate today. It has been really helpful. What I'm finding, the login part where someone puts in their login details, should there not be a little link at the bottom saying do not have an account, register? Because I'm sometimes finding that my people have to go into my site, try and find that separately, come back, and they get a bit lost in the system of it. I don't know whether that's just the feedback I've had from some people who've been trying to log in. I don't know whether it's just I'm giving them the wrong way to log in. Do you know what I mean? Like that pop-up box, it says.
Okay, hold on. It's pretty clear. I mean, you've just got a / login. So as long as they're going to that link page.
But if they don't have a login, they keep getting lost in my site all the time. It keeps kind of coming in a repetitive cycle. Like, is there a way, do you have a tutorial, or are you going to cover that at all in the next couple of sessions?
What I can, if it's specific, but it's like here, look, this is that site. This is the site I'm showing you, and the sign in for it is just straight in here. So I don't know if it's needed. If you go to sign in, you get straight in here. So.
Oh yeah, yes.
And if they don't have an account, it's because they haven't set up an account. If they've forgotten their password, they click forgot password and put their email there and the reset link. So it's not.
Thank you for clarifying that, because I think I probably just not looked at it properly in that case. Didn't think my login had that at the bottom. I just had 4 comments exactly the same, but it wasn't on there. So I don't know whether I've gone in and picked the wrong login, dropping in thing.
Right.
I'll have a look. It's okay.
Have you used the dynamic header on the top?
Yeah, I use the dynamic header.
Oh, okay. So you should have that there. But what you can do is you can just send them. You can just put, if you just give them the URL, if you're having to send an email out, you can include it on your broadcast, which is not a bad thing. So you just send them that for the login, and then you can also put underneath it. So you say log in here, and then have that link, and then say if you've forgotten your password, and then you just go reset it here, and then give them that link.
Perfect. I think it's because I was trying to register people back end rather than them trying to register themselves. So I was logging them on that way. So I think they weren't finding it easily. Right.
Okay. Yeah. There's things that can happen. I don't have many. I mean, I see lots of questions on Facebook, and I got a lot of students, and I don't have them having these problems. It's quite hard for me because I look at the Facebook group and I'm like, how? I can't work out how people are getting these problems. And I've got,
not knowing how to set them up properly.
Yeah.
Thank you for today. I really, really appreciate that.
Yeah, and this is the whole thing. This is why I'm doing these lives. It's because I want to. It's like I say to you, it's really important to understand how it works, because a lot of people are looking at the site and they're just doing things, and they don't know how it all kind of links together. It's like, even I do this all the time, so it's obviously going to be easier for me, but it's like even knowing how links work, how you can jump from one page to another, like the flow through a course, like what people have to do, the sales page, they then buy it, then they go to a thank you page, then they've got access to their course. Like, because I know it, it's easy for me to say why is it confusing, but if you've never used it before, of course it's confusing. So that's why I love the Sunday lives, and I don't mind spending as much time as you guys need, because it's important you understand it, and then you can think outside the box, but you can't do that till you understand it. So good. We got a question?
Thank you so much.
Hi, Mari.
I have a pro plan of Zenler, and as I've understood, it allows me to put up 3 different sites. So how do I do that? How to add another site?
It's really easy to set up another site. Hold on. Oh, I can't do it. But I'll have to. I'm not going to include it in this week's one. I'll send you a video, Mari.
Okay, thank you.
I think I've done a video on it. I'm pretty sure I have, but I need to find it for you. Can you PM me? Because I know you talked earlier about your hosting thing.
Yes,
Just
I
PM
will.
me, and then I can send you the details. Guys, we are going to cover additional sites if you're on the Pro and the Premium plan, you know. And also, I want to point out as well, if any of you are on the free plan, some of those things that we're talking about today will not work, like assignments, you know, and you won't be able to pick PayPal as your payment gateway. So if you're using the free plan and you don't have that option come up, then it's because you're on the free plan. All right, we give you a lot as free users, we give you a lot of access to a lot of the tools, but from this point on, well, from about 8 months ago, we stopped releasing any of the new features into the free plan. So it's only the Pro and Premium that get access to things like using our Zenler live accounts and things. So bear that in mind as well. All right, guys, right, I'm going to finish. Is there a free plan? Yes, there is a free plan. So just go on there, sign up, newzenler.com, and you can take the free plan, Heather. And but like I said, there are limitations onto it, and there's also a 10% transaction fee per sale. So have a play. We've put the free version, and it's pretty feature packed to let you see how you get on with the system. If you like it, you know, we're always here to answer your questions before you commit to upgrading to Pro and Premium. But if you are thinking about upgrading, now is the best time to do it because of our amazing offer that we've got that's only going up. So think about it, but no pressure. I'm not a sales person, so I'm not going to be salesy today. All right, guys, have a lovely Sunday. It's really good to see so many people in the live as well, and I hope you've got a lot from it. Remember, we do this every Sunday, 10 a.m. GMT time, and we're going to carry on this course creation, which is the biggest part to sort of learn and understand, but I'm going to try and make it as easy as possible for you to understand the whole process and hopefully answer all your questions going through the workshops as well. Okay, guys, I will see you soon, and take care. See you, bye.
Thank you. Thank you.